Hello and welcome to the Snickerdoodle Knits YouTube channel. I am Jessica, the knitter and designer behind Snickerdoodle Knits. In this tutorial, I am going to demonstrate how to create a garter tab. This is commonly used for the start of a shawl, and it allows you to create kind of like a wider section at the top of your shawl, especially for starting like a crescent shape shawl. So for this demonstration, I'm going to cast on 3 stitches and then knit 10 rows, and then I'll demonstrate how the whole rotation of the garter tab works. The number of stitches that you cast on and the number of rows that you knit will vary depending on the pattern. So pay attention to your pattern to know exactly how many stitches you need for that. But I'll go ahead and get started with my cast on 3 stitches. For this, I'm just going to use my basic cast on, and I'm just going to cast on 3 stitches. So there we have 3 stitches. And then I'm going to knit 10 rows. Knit 1 row, second work, knit 2 rows, 3rd row, 4th row, 5th row, 6th row, 7th row, 8th row, 9th row, and 10th row. So there we have cast on 3 stitches and knit 10 rows. Now this might look like a bit of a funny start for a shawl because it's just a skinny long rectangle at the moment. But the next step is that we will turn the work 90 degrees clockwise. So turn the work 90 degrees clockwise. And for this demonstration, I'm going to pick up and knit 5 stitches along the edge of the knitting, right here. And it's going to be 1 stitch for every garter ridge. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that my cast on is my 5th garter ridge there. So you can pick up this ridge here. This is the first one. And put it onto your needle and knit it. So that would be the first stitch from the garter edge. Or what I like to do is I like to go ahead and pick up all of those stitches on my left needle so that when I work them, it's just like working a normal knit stitch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that I still need to pick up. So I picked up this one and knit it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 still to pick up. So I'll just pick up this one, and to know if you're picking up the stitches in the right direction so your stitch isn't twisted, the way that I always remember is that this front leg, it needs to be in the front of the needle when I'm knitting. So I need to make sure it's that orientation. There's a 3rd stitch. Sometimes you kind of have to loosen it up a little bit, putting it on the needle. There's my 4th stitch. So typically I would have gone ahead and picked up all 5 of those stitches just from the very beginning instead of working out this first one here. But I wanted to demonstrate how to do that as well. So now this is just working the 5 stitches. Oops, this one I didn't get untwisted. The 5 stitches from the edge of the work. Now you can see how we're starting to connect all of these. So now we will go ahead and rotate another 90 degrees clockwise, and we will pick up 3 more stitches. So the 3 stitches from our cast on we will pick up. And again, I like to kind of just pick those up from my needle. And then go ahead and knit those. 1, 2, 3. So now we've kind of created the start of our crescent shape that rounds it off when we pick up those stitches along each edge. So what we did was we cast on 3 stitches, we knit 10 rows of garter. Then we turned 90 degrees clockwise and we picked up and knit 5 stitches, or 1 stitch per garter ridge. We turned another 90 degrees clockwise and picked up 3 more stitches and knit those 3 stitches. So now you can see that we have 11 stitches in total. Our first 3 stitches from the 10 rows, then the 5 that we picked up from the edge of the knitting, and the 3 that we picked up from the cast on edge. So there you go. You now know how to create a garter tab. This is a very handy method to know for knitting a lot of shawls. And it's a bit intimidating the first time you work it, but as soon as you start to understand a bit about how to pick up those stitches, it becomes a lot less complicated, and it really creates a nice start for your shawl. I hope you found that this tutorial was easy to follow, easy to understand, and helpful and informative. If you're still a little uncertain about how to perform the garter tab, go ahead and re-watch this video at a slower speed. And if you continue to have questions, leave those in the comments down below and I will get back to those as soon as possible. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and follow Snickerdoodle Knits for more video tutorial content like this. I hope to see you around. Happy knitting!